good to see you here again today. Me and Elmer were totally having a dance off in the background. I was about to say, like, that is how you know you have a new tribe member on board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Embracing the fun value all the way. So awesome. You're watching the Coffee Shop Conversation Show for Entrepreneurs. I am Christine.
And I think I'm still Peter.
Peter isn't sure Peter's still Peter, because today we're talking about adventure sports and what they have in common with entrepreneurship. So I think this is going to be a freaking fantastic talk. We have some really, really awesome tribe members on the show with us here right now. So I think it's going to be absolutely fabulous. Just before we get into this, I do want to remind you that we have the Event Raptor prize up for grabs, right? So the next prize that people can win on our Fempreneur Movement Facebook group, Hi Fempreneurs, is the Event Raptor prize, which is absolutely incredible. It's like a full year subscription. It's almost valued. It's like just below $1,200 US. The software that you get enables you to host summits. It puts you directly in touch with
speakers.
It helps you. You can have like an affiliate link for your events, which is really, really cool. So you can get people to market your events for you. You get yourself publicly out there. And then you can also do giveaways, which is really cool, because a giveaway, you then like get a collaborative giveaway, and then you guys all give like a thing away together, and it helps you grow your email list. So it's like a fancy way of marketing and stuff. But the program does like everything for you, so that is so cool.
And not only that, you get to meet Jenny and Steve
Erickson, which are like some of the best entrepreneurs in the entire world, and they will be handing over this prize to you personally, which is
that's a prize all on its own.
So cool. So if you still want to get your hands on that, remember, just by participating in this movement and helping us share it, right? Yes, you do get points. But what's more important than that, you're helping save the global economy one small business at a time. Because you're helping us find entrepreneurs that need things like this, and then put them all in one room, connect them, and then we become an unstoppable force. So just remember, if you do want to get your hands on this prize, you got to score 30 points on the leaderboard. So everyone that has 30 points upwards will go into the draw. So Chris, on that note, before we get into the topic for today and start the discussion, can we please have a look at the leaderboard? I know you have prepared extensively for this moment in time.
So the leaderboard stands as such. Martini is in first place on 29 points, so almost there at those 30 points, followed by Somerville and Janine. You can see the rest of the people on the list. You'll see I'm right down there at 12, so I better get moving. Only 4 points. I've got to score 26 more points to get into that draw. So good news. There's opportunity for you. Get up there. There's not much competition for you. Get to the top, get above 30, and there you go. You can be in the running for that awesome, awesome prize.
Thank you so much, Chris. So guys, Chris will be sharing the link with you. If you want to still sign up for this program, get your unique referral link, start sharing it everywhere. You can see right now on the leaderboard, no one has 30 points
yet.
So I just want to point that out to you, right? So if you are one of the people to get 30 points, you might be the only person on the wheel.
And I just want to re-highlight something. And yes, there are prizes. At the end of the day, it's not about the prizes. Never was, never will be. This space is about pulling entrepreneurs from around the world together into one space where they can communicate. This is a space where you can talk to other people just like yourself all around the world. So even if you're joining just to be in this space, that there is the biggest prize.
Exactly. So yeah, get your unique referral link and share it with everybody that you know. And then you might be the person next week on the coffee shop show when we announce the next prize. You might be the person on the wheel. Who knows? All you need is 30 points. So let's do it. Okay, on to today's topic. Oh, yes. Wait. Yes. Chris, we have a bonus points opportunity.
Yes, I may have forgotten to mention that. So if you're watching this live on one of our mini streams on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and our flight team, but we're on all of the other ones. If you comment on there saying something as a comment towards today's topic, which is what do action sports and entrepreneurship have in common, then you'll get some bonus points. So it's very easy to get those bonus points. Just watch us and make a comment about today's topic. Simple as that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Chris. Okay, so let's see the comments roll in. YouTube, Facebook, the sky is the limit. Go and find the stream, comment, and then you'll get, I will let you know what bonus points you get. It'll be awesome. Okay, so let's move on to our people today. What does adventure sports and entrepreneurship have in common? So remember, the way that this show works is everybody's going to put up their hands if they have something to contribute on this topic, like so. That'll cue them onto our screen, so we'll be able to pull them into the conversation from there, and we'd really just love to hear your feedback. I think maybe, shall we kick it off with the lady that inspired this topic, the woman of the moment. Anytime now she's going to actually look up and smile at me. Mo, do you want to tell us why you were so, why this was such an awesome topic for you to chat about?
I feel like I should ask you that question because you are the one who made this a topic. I was literally just like talking in one of our catch-ups. And unbeknownst to me, just to the audience, unbeknownst to me, this lady, I could hear her actually typing. I'm like, is she literally responding to emails in the middle of our catch-up? Literally, as we're talking, 2 minutes later, I get like an invite, like a notification saying that the topic has been updated. And I'm like, did you literally just turn what I just said 2 minutes ago into a topic? So I feel like I should be asking you that question, not the other way around. But yeah. So I think just for a bit of context, what actually inspired this was I was chatting to you about my experience going bungee jumping, and what an interesting and funny and just what a hot mess that experience was, but what a cool experience. So for me, what entrepreneurship and adventure sports have in common, and I made some notes here so I don't like ramble and waffle for too long. Well, not any longer than I normally do. But I think the first thing for me is about facing your fears and getting out of your comfort zone. And a lot of what we do in entrepreneurship is about actually being, you're always out of your comfort zone. Or at least you should actually be more often than not out of your comfort zone, because that's really where the growth lies, right? So it's about facing your fears and getting out of your comfort zone, trusting the process. So being patient with the process. And whenever you go and do adventure sports, there's a process, right? There's procedure, there's indemnity forms that must be signed. There's a way of doing stuff. You have to listen to the instructor and do everything he says you must do just the way you got to do it, so we're all safe. So sort of trusting the process, building confidence, and I'd say having a story to tell. And obviously I'm partial to, storytelling because I'm a poet and a creative at heart. So like having a story to tell, like, oh, dude, remember that one time we did that one crazy thing that one day? How awesome of an experience was that? And it just makes you a fun and interesting person, and people like to be around fun and interesting people. And as you know, people do business with people, right? So when people like you and like having you around the room, they inherently want to give you the business or give you the contract or the gig. So that's a bit for me. What about adventure sports and entrepreneurship have in common?
Thank you so much, Mo. And that is Mo Malele from Shopperpolitan and NK Innovations, Mo. And you do everything.
Yeah, and I'm also a poet when I have the time to be one.
At the moment, we're stalking Mo down so that she can actually list all of her poems for you guys on Spotify. So we promise we're going to make that happen, because Mo is just one of the most inspiring poets in the whole entire universe. Like, I know everyone.
AKA Voice of Africa.
Yeah, AKA Voice of Africa. So I was like, literally, Mo, when you were talking about like bungee jumping and stuff and like telling me that journey, I was like, are you speaking about my entrepreneurial story? Literally, that's what I thought. Like the fear and the, oh my goodness, I am not doing this. Like, this is not happening. And then you actually like, you go through and you do it and you have like so much courage. And like, for me, entrepreneurship basically is an adventure sport. So that's why I was like, yeah, let me steal that. I think that would be an awesome topic. What I do want to know is, Mo, Are we gonna be seeing your bungee jumping video?
Unfortunately not. And I did try. I actually did try to do the homework and everything. I did, but like, so here's the thing, right? This video was shot like several years ago, I think maybe almost a decade ago. And so technology has changed. So I was digging this stuff up. I was like, oh my God, remember one of these things? They used to call these things CDs to all the youngins out there listening on. They used to call these things CDs. You might not know what it is. It stands for compact disc. So before everything was digital and it was being streamed, we used to walk around with these things, DVDs and CDs, and you'd stick them in and then they'd press play and then you can watch your movie or listen to a song. Oh my God, we used to listen to songs on discs and then share them. Anyways, so I put this into the laptop and my laptop was just like, I don't know what you're giving me right now. Like, cannot compute. System error. Delete. It was short circuiting. It was like, do not compute. So I need to find one of the tech guys to help me extract this video from this old little digital gadget. And when I can do that, I'll definitely share it with you guys. But unfortunately not today. Technology has moved on farther than I had anticipated.
You know, you have
so
like 5 members all around you. Like, someone's going to show up at your door now. We're here to help you with your DVD.
Please do. But one thing I forgot to share, fun fact, I actually, I've got a fear of heights actually. So that's why whenever I think about entrepreneurship and adventure sports, it's always the bungee jumping stuff that comes up, or like the zip lining at like 160 kilometers per hour. So because I have a fear of heights, like you wouldn't believe, and I'm actually tall. So every time I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my goodness, hold on to the bed and go to the bathroom. So yeah, so that's my life.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Mo. Guys, please remember, if you resonate with anybody that is on this call, which, by the way, they're the best entrepreneurs in the entire world, but I don't know why you would not be connecting with them. But yeah, if you resonate with any of them, all of their LinkedIn links are in the description below. Just go and click, have a chat, book a coffee. It's a thing, okay? You're welcome. Chris, let's move on to you, because your hand has been up forever. What does entrepreneurship and adventure sports have in common?
I think more the question is, what don't they have in common? I'm looking forward to Mayor weighing in soon, because I mean, he's done his own heavy extreme stuff, and yes, it does kind of fall under that, but I'm looking forward to hearing what Mayor has to say about it. But I thought, hey, let's have some fun with this as usual and look at the basic definition of what action sports is. So it's extreme sports. They're activities that perceive as involving high degree of risk. They often involve speed, height, and a level of physical exertion in highly specialized gear. Basically, the main attraction is being an adrenaline rush because of the element of risk, and and professionalism and getting things together. You've got to be careful. So how does that not sound like entrepreneurship? High degree of risk, high speed, highly specialized equipment, high amounts of moments of going, systems check, is everything okay? That is entrepreneurship in a nutshell. And I think we can learn from that, because say something like bungee jumping is a perfect example. If you go through the proper processes, procedures, follow things well, you can have a great time, but be safe at the end of the day. Enjoy your adrenaline rush. It can be a great success. And fill in the indemnity forms, obviously, you have to have those. But long story short, if you follow that professional way of doing things and ticking all the boxes, bungee jumping is still safer than driving a car or flying an airplane. Why is that? Because of all the protocols that have been put in place. So I think that's something we can learn. Action sports and entrepreneurship have a lot in common. Just learn from them and how to apply it to your entrepreneurship journey to make it still that thrill and fun, but safe at the same time. At the moment, I'm still on that first jump with the bungee going down. I'm waiting for the as we go back up. But we'll get there.
Thank you so much, Chris. And that is Chris Colby from Live to Dream, and one of the best YouTube producers in the entire world, one of the best MCs in the world, one of the best online business managers in the entire world. Do you have anything to add, Chris?
No, that's about it. If you want something done, let me fix it for you.
Love it. That is actually so interesting, because like that is something like that's so special to me because I like love adventure sports. Like I can't help myself. Like doing something new, like it's just so thrilling and fun. And Peter's learning to love it too.
Learning, I'm hurting, is what's happening.
But like I never thought of like how important it is, and that's literally what you do, right? Like when you go for like a 10K hike, or like if you're Dr. Maya, like that's like your morning, like fun, like a 60-100 hour walk, whatever. Like it's about putting that one foot in front of the other, just being like, this is the process. If I follow this person, I just keep going, focus on the breathing, I'll be fine.
Are we saying that if you are an entrepreneur, you need to do adventure sports? The answer is no. The answer is no. However,
it's safer than entrepreneurship.
it could possibly be. But what we are saying is that if we can understand the likeness between adventure sports and entrepreneurship, and we can understand that facing our fears and doing what we need to do as entrepreneurs instead of staying in the safe water can actually be beneficial to us as entrepreneurs, then that's what we need. So am I a professional adventure sports person? No. Do I understand facing my fears? Yeah. So join the club.
Awesome, and we'll have a very fun conversation in the process. I'm loving this conversation. Remember, guys, bonus points if you comment on the stream anywhere in the world where you're watching it. Let us know, what does entrepreneurship and adventure sports have in common? Like from your perspective, let's see what we can get at. But let's move on for now to Almarie. I am so keen to hear your input on this. What do you think? Adventure sports, entrepreneurship, same thing? What do they have in common?
Hi, Destina. Hi, Peter. How everyone else? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for allowing me here. And yes, Mo, I want to go there sometime. I'm going to go there soon. It depends on what soon means. But I'm interested in bungee jumping, the 160. What did you say? What do you go down the cable, that thingy, and
zip
then
line.
yes, the zip line, and also base jumping and what's the other one? Parachuting. And I want to talk. I want to see if the Setja is going to hear me here. Last week we were together on a tribe council. And I offered, because I'm closest to him, I offered to bring, as soon as he's ready to jump out of the 9th floor, I'll bring him. I offered, what will I bring him? The base jumping suit or the parachute, because he's ready to do the jump. And I think the connection here is taking the leap. You will never go from employee to being entrepreneur if you don't take the leap. And I can attest to this. I took the leap. I didn't know I have a plan. I didn't know where I'm going, and I'm growing. And sorry, I'm getting chills now, because I know this is what's happening right now, is preparation and taking and recognizing as an employee why it didn't work for me, and then taking the leap and going into entrepreneurship. So yes, Mo, you can attest to this. You couldn't get off that ledge if you didn't take the step. You didn't take the leap. So that for me is the big link, is take that leap. You can do this. You can work through it. You can live on bread and water for a while, but you can do this. Take the leap.
Oh, I love that so much. Now I'm getting chills. Like I'm literally getting chills. I think any entrepreneur that has taken that leap will get chills from that, Almarie. Thank you so much. And that is Almarie Skitter from
Pretoria, South Africa.
What is your business name again?
Oh, he is copywriter.
He is copywriter. Yes, she's one of the best copywriters in the world. So, and definitely taking that leap, and you can hear when she tells a story.
Just
the writing talent coming through.
Something I'd like to reiterate. In adventure sports, preparation is key because you want to be safe. So you prepare, you have the right equipment, you know exactly what you're doing, you know exactly what movements you need to take, you know exactly, every step of getting to that leap is calculated so that the leap that you take is a safe leap. to take because you have calculated the risks, you've made sure that everything is safe, you put everything you possibly can in place to make sure that even though you don't know what's going to happen when you take that leap, you make sure that everything is in place for that leap to be the safest leap you can actually possibly take. So this is not a question of let's just cover our eyes and blindly jump. Let's not do that.
Although some of us have.
Some people do, and they think it's really smart. It's really not. So we have people that are employed, and they just quit their jobs and they go, "I'm going to be an entrepreneur." But have they taken the necessary steps and the precautions and put all the safety protocols in place? Have they understood what they're actually jumping into? Do they know when they take the leap what that leap is going to result in? Have they done their homework? And a lot of the time, the answer is no. And then we end up having meetings where people go, "I'm an entrepreneur and I'm looking for an investor." We're like, "Well, why?" "Well, because I was employed." So in other words, you were your own investor. You were earning, and then now you're not. And they're like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have quit my job." The answer to that is yes. Maybe you should not have quit your job until you knew what the risks were before taking the leap. So, in my mind, be prepared. Be prepared to go through the work that it's going to take to make sure that your leap into entrepreneurship is a successful one. Peace out.
I agree.
That puts a lot of pressure on entrepreneurs, though, Peter. So I just want to say, I didn't prepare at all, and I'm absolutely fine. But it was very rough. Okay, so I think try and find a balance. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that you don't leap. But also, do take care of yourself because we do want you to be safe. I think what Maya is saying is so true. He's saying in the chat, the similarity is that in the end, you just have to do it. It's not like you actually have a choice.
Yeah.
It's just like you were destined to do this. You were destined to follow your dreams. You're destined to build this empire. You just got to go for it. Okay, let's move to Lisecha. Lisecha, what does entrepreneurship and adventure sports have in common?
Well, I think I'm going to agree with Chris. What don't they have in common? And having done bungee jumping, Mo, we should go and do it again, this time together. Take the leap together, because, the leap is going to happen. It's going to happen on my side as well. So the 2 points that I have on the similarities is discipline, firstly. Because if you are not disciplined, you're not going to take the leap. You will always be afraid. You'll never be prepared. And then what I like is the second one is the adrenaline rush. It's beautiful when you are in the air flying before Elmari sends through that. Sends through that parachute, and I'm still trying to build my plane on the way down. That rush is absolutely amazing. And then when you get down to the end, when you've built your own empire, the result is absolutely awesome. So it's that I see similarities in entrepreneurship and the extreme sport, as I want to call it. So more bungee jumping again. Oh yeah, by the way, we actually bungee jumping on preparation for the 4th of November, right? We together in that, Mo?
Indeed. Yes, that's our leap.
Yeah, that's
I see what you did there. That was smart. That's our leap.
Thank you. And that's Lisecha Moko Radio Pulpit as the what am I, by the way? Remind me. I'm in media.
Media contact Lisecha. Thank you so much. That is so
it's
beautiful.
It's fine, Lisecha. Sometimes the adrenaline rush can make you forget your name even when you get to the ground and they're like, "Ma'am, could you sign here? Could you sign out, please?" You're like, "What's my name again?"
That's true.
So yeah, it's fine.
That is very.
You can sometimes forget what your job is as well.
I do. I always forget what I do. So yeah.
Okay, let's move over to Mo again. You have your hand up.
I was actually going to say, yes, I was going to say to Elmarie's point about like taking that leap and everything. I think one of the things that's important to note is that you're not you're not always going to feel confident, or you're not always going to feel like I'm taking this leap and I'm super duper ready and I'm taking it, I'm going for it, right? Sometimes you just have to get used to doing things scared. And just like doing it with that fear and feeling the fear and being very conscious and aware of just how like scared you are, right, of the situation. And it reminds me of the time, like I was telling you, Nestine, that time when I went bungee jumping, I made the mistake. Once you're strapped in and everything, apparently you can't not jump. So I made the mistake of looking down, right, before I was going to jump. And I looked down and I was like, you know what? It's fine. You can keep my money. I'm not going to jump, sir. I'm just going to turn around and it's fine. Just unstrap me. I'm not going to ask for a refund. It's fine. They were like, ma'am, you have to just do it. You have to jump. We can't unstrap you right now. Like the process of unstrapping you on the bridge is actually harder than once like you've actually jumped. So I looked down and I'm like, guys, I can't do this. I'm shaking. They're like, ma'am. So now I've got 3 guys around me. This is why the video is so hilarious. I've got 3 guys around me, one this way, and one behind me. So I'm cornered. So I get closer and closer to the ledge and I'm stuttering and stumbling as I'm doing this thing. And then I kind of just hopped off this bridge, but nearly took the guys with me. So I slapped. So in the video, you can actually see me slapping one of them because I nearly actually took them down with me. So the video is hilarious. But I did it, right? And so that's why I still have the story to tell. And I'm like, and I always go back to that whenever I'm scared of doing something or making a particular call or sending an email, I'm like, you have to do it. Even if you're doing it scared, it's fine. Because at the end of it, I've actually done it. But yeah, the story is I did it scared, but I'm proud of the fact that I've done it and it all went and it all worked out, you know? So I think that's just one thing I wanted to share with all the entrepreneurs out there, that you're not always going to feel like you're super duper confident or that you're on top of the world. And it's fine. It's fine to do so.
If you're an entrepreneur, you will never feel like that. Disclaimer.
Well, I mean, talking about doing it scared, in the space that I used to function, almost like a low-level boxing career, when you're in preparation, you build yourself up mentally to feel like you're indestructible, and you prepare and you work and you prepare and you work and you feel indestructible until you get to the ring and you see your opponent. Then all of a sudden you don't feel so indestructible because you know that man was also preparing and he also felt indestructible until he saw you. So getting into that ring, there's this thing of, did I prepare enough? Can I win? Are my skills at the right level? How long is this going to last? Am I going to feel lots of pain? Inevitably, this person is there to inflict pain. Can I overcome? Am I going to be victorious? Those things are things that like really go through your mind. And all that confidence that you had, all of a sudden, it's gone. And that's scary. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people experience the opposite. They prepare, they feel so overconfident. And they jump into the ring and they do this whole showboating where they like jump around like they're already victorious. And then the fight lasts 30 seconds and they don't know what happened. So either which way that it goes, just understand that the preparation is part of the process. You've got to build yourself. And then facing the fear. But I'm telling you now that there is nothing there's nothing better than the experience of having prepared, put in the hard work, gotten into the ring, no showboating, to have somebody else jump into the ring to showboat and show off and claim like they've already won. And in 30 seconds it's over. And that feeling of victory is, you can't compare it to anything. So do your preparation. Never think that you're always the best. There is always somebody better. Prepare.
Yeah, prepare like you're not the best. But then have your own back like you are the best. Like you need to be your own best friend. Chris, let's move to you.
Give me a second when in between grabbing to me, because I've got to push against a few buttons. But anyway, first of all, Peter, showboating. I'm an entertainer. That's what I do best. There's a place for those guys as well. I'm just saying, if it wasn't the showboat and the entertainer, you wouldn't have your 30 seconds and you would. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. But maybe I'm going to be a bit soppy and nostalgic here now. But Mo said something beautiful in the chat where she said, if you don't leap, you don't fly. And I've also just recently watched the original Peter Pan cartoon from the 1977. Can you believe that long ago? And for Wendy and them to be able to fly, they needed Tinkerbell's pixie dust. So I think also that's part of that. And what I'm saying here is you need those people around you that help you, who know their pixie dust, that helps your ability to fly. Because according to the movie, that ability is actually within you. But to be able to believe and really get there and be able to fly, you need the pixie dust to get you there. So join a tribe of people who have lots of pixie dust for you to help you really, truly believe in yourself and be able to fly. You can take the leap, you can do the preparation, you can put everything professional, put everything in place, but you do it alone. I mean, if somebody went to a bridge and tied a rope to themselves and jumped off the bridge, I think that once it would work out a little bit more different to standing at a professional place with guys who know the equipment, who know the safety procedures, who know how to do it, whether it's jumping out of a plane or extreme skiing or whatever the case is. That's why you have those people there. So why not incorporate yourself? If you're going to do the extreme sport that is entrepreneurship, why not surround yourself with pixie dust? Because it'll help you fly.
Oh, Chris, now you're just showing off.
I mean, I don't know bungee jumping. I don't know anything about bungee jumping. If I did it on my own, I'd be like, where does this rope go? Around my feet or around my neck?
It would be a quick experience. It would be like
a quick experience, and it would just be over. And I'd be like, oh well, that didn't work.
I just have to tell you guys, like, that is such a good point, like, Chris, and it's so beautifully put. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, the type of personality that I have, I do a lot of stupid things, okay? I'm very spontaneous, but I'm also very headstrong, which means that literally my first business I started with tying a rope around my middle, and I was like, I'm jumping, I don't care about any of you, like, it did not work out that well, okay? I suffered a lot. Yes, I got to the end result, but I suffered a lot, and anyway, then after that result, I couldn't get further anyway. Like, having the experience of doing it a second time around with Peter there, with Chris there, with Mo there, with people like the Seja and Almarie and Maya there, you know, that have your back. Some of them see things that you don't see. They are probably planning everything that I'm not planning. It's just like, it's a completely different experience than just jumping off the bridge and hoping for the best.
Well, I mean, if we had to think about it, if we had to give a list of names of people that were incredibly part of our journey at creating what we have created, how long would that list be?
Very long.
Very long.
Yeah.
Very long. There are people involved in our journey with that. Without them, we cannot have or be on the journey that we're on. It's just that simple.
And even with them, it's still hard. It's still an adventure sport.
But we're doing it together.
But we're doing it together, and that makes it so worth it. And I just we want to move on to Dr. Maya, but first I just want to give a massive shout out to Mo, because Mo, like, I had one of my most special, like, everyone on the school is so special to me, and everyone in the tribe, and I just love you guys so much. But, like, I just remember now, while we're having this conversation, Mo, like, we were putting your show together at some point in time, and we were talking about what it means to be successful. And you just, like, started speaking about, you know, those days when you're, like, you get up and you're not there yet, but you still have all of these big dreams in your head, and the bank balance isn't showing it, but you still keep going, and, like, you don't even know if you're alive anymore, but you, like, I can't even remember how you said it, but that conversation that you had with me was such a pivotal conversation in my life that I will remember for the rest of my life. And it gave me, at that moment in time, it literally gave me that thing where I was like, yeah, just keep trusting the process. I mean, most trusting the process. If she can do it, I can damn sure do it too, because I'm not going to let you win. But it really meant a lot to me, so I just want to say thank you. Dr. Maya, you are one of those crazy people that, like, you know, we talk about bungee jumping and things, but you go for like ultra marathon runs just like for the fun of it. Like, I'm so keen to hear you. What is the entrepreneurial journey in adventure sports? What do they have to do with each other? Are all entrepreneurs crazy?
Well, all entrepreneurs have got a healthy dose of craziness. Now, the reality with adventure sport, and I'm going to agree with what Mo is saying, is that you go into an unfamiliar territory. You can prepare, but in the end, where you go, you've never been. That is the key point. Your preparation is really a stepping stone to the reality. You know, when Peter mentioned the analogy of being in the ring, I mean, I used to be a martial artist. It wouldn't have mattered how long you prepared. By the time you get into the ring with your opponent, you know your team believes in you. In fact, sometimes they are relying on you. But the minute you jump into the ring, you haven't seen that opponent before. And I think what I want to just add here is that that's where composure becomes important. You've never been here before. You've done the preparation. You have the team. You know the results that you're hoping for. Composure becomes very important. Being with yourself, talking to yourself, playing in your mind how you did this. And the reality is you will not always get it very right. And I'm intentional by saying you're not always getting it very right instead of saying you sometimes get it wrong. Because you've prepared and your passion is there. Sometimes wheels will go flat, but you change the wheel, and that's what adventure sport is. You are in a territory that is unfamiliar, but your mind and your skill set and the environment and the team around are there to back you. You know, that's really, and that's really entrepreneurship. You can read about it. We can tell you about it. You have to go and do it. And that's Maya from Financial School of Business in Pretoria, Johannesburg. You didn't have to remind me today, Nestine.
I mean, like, Dr. Maya, do you have to stop speaking? Like, that was so inspiring. I'm just like, and on that note, is there anything that you don't do? Like, I feel like we can be like, yeah, no, we have a rocket scientist on the call today, and Dr. Maya will be like, yeah, no, in my previous like career, I was a rocket scientist. That is so amazing. It's just so inspiring. I could listen to you the whole day, every day. Thank you so much for sharing that, and it's so special. I can totally relate.
If we think about it, and this has been mentioned a lot, the team behind you. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of entrepreneurs don't have a team behind them. They're all on their own, and it's a lonely journey, and the only preparation they can do is the preparation that they know. And sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. So the question is, how do we go about finding that team or finding that support that know the things that we don't? Because that's all part of the preparation. We need to just strategically surround ourselves with people that know the things that we don't. Do we have to know those things? No, we don't need to know those things. But we do need to know the people that do. So that's all part of the process. So how do we go about doing that? Which was a question.
Let's ask Mo. She's up next.
This feels like a game show the way you're running it. I mean, I think that's really important, right? So, and I think that's why we're all here. Like the amazing tribe that we have at Explore Protech, you know, this entrepreneurial haven. And I think I just put something into the chat where I was just saying that surrounding yourself with the right people and then listening to them is very important. And you have to go out and look for those people because you don't know what you don't know, but at least you accept that there's things that I don't know. So you actually have to be very intentional about putting the right people around you through the WhatsApp groups and through your network. They don't have to be like formal people in the business or have a formal relationship with you, but people you can bounce ideas off of, people who you know have your back and who will actually support you and who will tell you when you're going off track and try to get you back on track. But then you also have to actually listen, you know, and this reminds me, coming back to adventure sports, it reminds me of the time that I was abseiling. And once again, remember, fear of heights. But now I'm abseiling. And the whole idea of abseiling is different to like bungee jumping, where you just jump and then you wait for them to come get you. Abseiling actually requires you to listen to your instructor, because you do a lot of that work. You have to actually be able to hold that rope and listen to how he tells you to release it and how you have to jump and everything. And if you don't then do that stuff, you end up free falling and your jump is actually uncontrolled. And not your jump, but you're abseiling in a very uncontrolled fashion. So you actually have to listen to those people and take their advice. Otherwise, you're going to fall flat on your ass. And you're going to go back home in crutches, you know. And the idea for me is that if I can find the people who've done this before and traveled the path that I'm trying to travel, if I can find those people and sort of listen to what they're saying and get their advice and emulate some of the traits that they have that have led to their success, it just makes my journey that much simpler, that much easier. It hurts less because I have the right people around me and I'm listening to them. So that's what I would say. You know, a lot of people just don't listen. So you actually need to take their advice and actually listen to it and implement it without taking offense to what people are saying.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Sometimes when your coach is on the outside of the ring going, keep your fists up, they're telling you for a reason. And the reason for that is if you don't, you're going to get hit in the face. It is not a pleasant experience. So when your coach says keep your fists up, he means keep your fists up. And you should probably listen to that because he has the experience. So I think we can equate that a lot to what we do as entrepreneurs. You know, we often do things that we don't have experience in. But there are people out there that do, and those people are more than willing to actually be part of your journey. All you have to do is reach out and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite simple.
And find the ones that are safe, that actually will give you the right advice at the right time.
Yeah.
Not just listen to you and then give them whatever, you know, is on their 5 things that I can say so that people love me.
Well, actually, let's look at the history of entrepreneurship. You show me one entrepreneur that went on a journey all on their own and were highly, highly successful. Show me one. I think the numbers are minuscule.
That's true.
Minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal.
In fact, sorry, Peter, but most successful entrepreneurs will tell you, rule number 1, find the right mentors and the right coaches for you. That's like that's the number one thing that all successful entrepreneurs will tell you. They might have different methodologies of how they go about their business, but the number one thing I've heard from all of them is find the right mentors, find the right coaches for you, and then follow their advice. Listen to them because they've done this before, you know, so do what they're telling you to do. So yeah, you're right, actually. That's a very important point that I just wanted to reiterate.
Yeah, I mean,
shut up.
I don't often follow other people in regards to
anything.
Because I like to figure things out on my own. But I've actually realized that, you know, sometimes you just have to find somebody. And I mean, the other day I was actually watching some content, and I'll do a shout out to Gary Vee. I was watching some of his content, and I was like, goodness me, this man is speaking the things that I speak, and he's living the things that I speak, and there's that common link. So I started watching his content to go, well, what else does he say? And then he would say something, and I'd be like, oh, goodness me, I say that. And then he would say something else, and I'd be like, oh, goodness me, yeah, that's... So, and then he would say something, and I'd be like, well, I actually hadn't thought of that. I really had not thought of that. So there's this thing of find people that you can, even if they don't know you, find people that you have something in common with, or somebody that you want to emulate or be like, and follow their content. It's quite simple. And it could be as simple as I think in the YouTube clip he was approaching a lemonade stand and he was buying lemonade, and it cost like $5, and he gave the kid $100 note, and he was like, keep going. And that to me was just like, oh man, this, you know, there's somebody to follow. Find that person, follow them. Don't make them God, because they're not. But find multiple people and put them around you. It'll work.
Yeah, awesome questions. Marie, let's go over to you.
Thank you. Well, I just wanted to say that as we are going through this conversation, I realized the other link I see between extreme sports and entrepreneurship is, like you said, Nestine, stay with the process. Stay with it. Don't, like Dr. Maya said, the tire is going to go flat. Change the tire and stay with the process. And then Mo, you gave me the perfect example for this, is absolutely, if you don't stay with the process, you're going to get hurt when you get to the bottom. So stay with the process. It's going to be difficult. You are going to have difficult times. There's going to be big hurdles that you need to get over, but stay with the process.
Love that, Almarie. When I was starting my first business, one of the things, like, I had multiple things on the wall that I would look at every day, just in order to remind me of what I'm doing. Because I'm that ADHD. One of the things was marry the process, let go of the results. So whenever I would get into that space where I'm like, where the hell is the bank balance? Like, why is it? I would be like, marry the process, let go of the result. Keep doing this process, we will for sure break through. So, humans, this has been the most wonderful, amazing tribal discussion in the whole world. Thank you so much for joining us on the Coffee Shop Show for Entrepreneurs this morning. It's been amazing. You are all so, so special to us. And thank you for spending time with us and for bringing yourself and your motivation and your stories and for sharing that with us. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I want to remind you, if you pop us a comment, we'll give you bonus points. If you want to connect with any one of these beautiful humans, which by this point, I'm like, why wouldn't you? Go to the description, click on their LinkedIn links, book a coffee. We're all open to having a discussion, and let's see how quickly we can get your show on the road as well. We love you, and we will see you again next week, because we're here every single week for you. Isn't that amazing? Lots of love, and may all your wildest entrepreneurial